The Wrong Hero, and you are tuned to Cafe Cabaret. Tonight we are featuring a presentation entitled Glory Road, title suggested by Mark Biggins. Folks?
Yes,
I will reimburse you for
no, forget the result. Don't worry about it.
I have one already in Tom's.
How's the music? Good. But, alright. You know these guys? No. I don't either.
Do it good, will you?
Right.
Put it on pause.
How about on pause? Yeah? For how long? So you get everybody in there? How about if you just let it run? Then you can cut it. You're going to have to cut it anyway, right?
Yeah, edit. Well,
you can't edit? Maybe you'll get some good comments as everybody locks in.
alright.
Or I can just start it and stop it.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Well, where are they?
Steve's gonna lower them in.
And you want me to turn that down, of course?
Yeah.
See.
Actually, it's off. That's not. How do you do? I'm the Wrong Hero. And, I guess we're starting. I don't know. Nobody here yet. But, let's see. What should I call this one, actually? I haven't really thought too hard about what I'm going to call this particular show. You know, it's kind of difficult to think of a title, especially at this point, because, you know, I mean, kind of discombobulated because there's no red light. Maybe that would be a good title. Discombobulated. Or, oh, I don't know. What do you think we should call this one, Mark?
Glory Road.
Glory, that is a you are the, okay, well here it is then, The Wrong Hero in Glory Road. Shot live at 494. I'm not going to say where 494 is, but there's only about 70 streets in Cambridge. I'm sure that by process of elimination you can eventually uncover the historic site at which this was in fact recorded. This is kind of awkward because, hey, I can see myself in that monitor, except when I move my right hand, it actually looks like I'm moving my left hand.
Well, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Don't be so careful and speak up.
Speak up. Oh, you mean?
Speak up. This is a dead air room. Got to.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh well, now, Mr. Acoustics, I wasn't aware of this fact.
Let me tell you, dead air room. You got to.
Oh, yeah, I gotta.
Yes.
You got to zing, zing, hop on down to the Cotton Club. If you can't get a taxi, get a sub. Like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You got to put it out there.
Always got a red hot review. Sing at the Cotton Club. I'll do a medley of all my like.
Don't drop your punchlines.
What do you mean? Drop my punchlines? I don't have any punchlines.
Seat taken? Go ahead. Sit right there.
See, I was getting to that.
This guy gets to sit. Oh, look at that. He takes the high chair right in front of the short young lady. Yes. A true gentleman.
And I'll take the lower.
No, you
how I hate that song, I Feel Pretty, I Feel Pretty. It's been running through my head.
I'm going to sit over there.
I've never actually seen West Side Story. I can see that there is
Was
a
that-
certain...
believe it.
Perhaps I haven't chosen it quite well.
That means you can do things as well with your right hand as with your left hand?
Ambidextrous? I used to be
No, it means I
ambidextrous.
can do things as well with my left half of my brain as I can with the right half of my brain.
As far as one thing's concerned, I can do something much better with my left hand.
Oh, no.
Why?
Dear. It'll be a long winter.
You're not
Size of a
attracting
Volkswagen.
enough attention.
Oh no, it's alright. This is like the pre-show festivities.
Pre-show.
This always happens, you know. And the thing is,
Always?
well, generally, and it's okay, it's alright. It's like a motion picture theater, coming attractions. And all that. Oh, it was only yesterday, but it seems like years and years
No,
ago.
it was years and years ago. I mean, it was like,
What was?
The Wrong Hero.
What?
The Wrong Hero.
You?
Me. I used to.
Yeah,
I performed every week at the Middle East for 6.5 years.
Wow.
With a few hiatuses here and there when they had a new booking agent. Who is this guy? Get him the hell out of here. He's driving the customers away. He's a cab driver. Oh, I don't care. He's driving the customers away. And, but you know, and it's all politics. Like when my old cronies were the booking agents, everything was copacetic, dude. But then when they got the strange new world of junkies and misfits as the booking agents, well, then everything was even better because, you know, they're my people.
The dyspeptic generation.
That's right. Come alive.
They're coming back.
Well, yeah, it's funny. Bill Clinton, he's talking about, I believe that we should have access to tools. That's Ivan Illich. That's communism, damn it. You know, and it's like, access to tools is the most important thing. You know, it's like, I don't know, something about Bill. I mean, he's a great guy and all, but he kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Boo Berry, the cereal mascot.
No, not Blueberry.
No, hey, don't, I can't believe you're hawking on
Blueberry, man.
Blueberry, man.
Wow.
And Dole, he was sort of like Frankenberry, you know, it's like, you know, just hammer that bolt in there, Jack Kemp, you know. And, Perot, of course, he was Quisp. I mean, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Well, you know, Harry Truman, when Harry Truman's daughter was getting married, aliens disrupted his wedding. That was in 1948. I flew over Area 54 just the other day, and I know all about it because the aliens told me. And I don't believe there's life on Mars. In fact, I am life on Mars. Perot, too much. Carnival sideshow, presidential election.
It was great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, well, you know,
Hours at work.
Clinton, a man who likes, you know, to eat,
like very rigid. I'm from the World War II generation. Listen, Jesus, don't complain about that wound you got in your wrist. You should have seen what I got in World War II. Come on, quit whining there. Quit the... And Pat Buchanan is like, don't give that Nazarene any vinegar sponges. Lousy foreigners coming in here trying... and Bill Clinton, Jesus, I feel your pain, and I promise guaranteed health coverage for every crucified Nazarene. And Ross Perot is like, Father, forgive them, and they know not what they do. Now, Jesus, every time you get in a scrape, you ain't going to do any good. Go cry to your daddy every time you get in a fix. No siree. Well, I brought myself up the hard way. My daddy was the greatest man on earth, but I must admit, I'm glad he cut me loose when I was just a young shaver. You know, Perot, you get the feeling he could just babble on in that vein for like literally days. He should have been in the Senate. He should have been one of those like Southern, anti-integrationist senators in the 1950s with the filibuster action going. Everett Dirksen, Strom Thurmond, step aside. There's Ross Perot here. Yep, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know. And Ross Perot's always weird quirks. Like he didn't like men with beards, and yet who's he picked for his running mate? Pat Choate. They're both from the same state, and the Constitution makes it very difficult for presidential and vice presidential candidates from the same state to run for president. So if he had won, he would have had to forfeit Texas's electoral votes according to the Constitution. That's neither here nor there, but he doesn't like men with blue shirts. He considers blue shirts effeminate.
Oh, I don't either, but for different reasons.
You gotta wear a white shirt when you're working for me, and you gotta be clean shaven, no sideburns, and I don't like to have women in the top managerial posts. Well, because you know about women, and Ross is just he sees conspiracies everywhere. Who knows? Maybe he's right. But if you, exactly. If you looked like Ross Perot, wouldn't you see enemies everywhere? You gotta admire him though. He built a party that was bigger than himself. But then again, very little is not bigger than Ross Perot. So, 5'5". Oh, I gotta rein myself in. I'm still waiting for everybody else to show up, but this is very entertaining. Presidential crap that nobody's interested in anymore.
What election?
Yeah, right, exactly. Like 10:15 election night. Oh, that's it. No more election. Oh, but then the news weeklies do their nauseating summaries of, well, we knew that. Oh, no president, and all this fucking bullshit that they no presidential candidate has ever come back from a 10-point deficit after election day. No Republican in this century has ever won the presidency without taking the state of Ohio.
Boy.
There was a district in Michigan which Bill Clinton had to take. No Democratic candidate in the 20th century has ever won without winning the Detroit district of. Yeah, well, crazy old Ross. I voted for Nader. I don't know if I should admit this. Ralph Nader at the crucifixion. That crucifix symbolizes the two-party duopoly which is ruining intelligent debate in this country.
There was a tree was cut down to make that cross.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I didn't think of that, but you're quite right. And then Harry Brown.
The cherry tree?
No, that of course the legend of the holly. Those red berries on the holly were tears of blood that Jesus cried when he was being crucified.
Oh, give me a break.
Yeah, I know, exactly. The things they tell kids, like the things that...
Oh, that statue with the bleeding heart, it was so scary. When I was a little kid.
What if you were to fry
It's very vampiric.
Would it taste like chicken?
It was like cannibalism, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Like
vampires.
Catholic upbringing, it's like, well, what do you learn when you're like 5 years old? Oh, sacred head surrounded by crown of piercing thorns. It's like, God, misery, The Care Bears look like, an attractive, viable option after an upbringing like that. Even the most sickening, insipid, like...
And they got us to believe that a virgin gave birth to Christ before we knew what the word virgin meant. I didn't think that was fair.
It's not quite right, somehow. There's something not quite right about it.
So Joseph says, what's this? What's this Holy Ghost? You dumped me for a ghost?
Right.
How bad am I?
If you tried to kill the Holy Ghost, would you be able to do it, or is it too
No.
late?
No.
Too late.
No. Tongues of fire.
Well, that was a way of stealing the power of the ability of women to to birth and putting it into the hands of a male.
No, basically they got this ghost as a stand-in for Mary and the Holy Trinity. It's like, step aside, Mary. I'm taking over here. I'm at the left hand of God.
The ghost.
Yeah.
You see the one where
If God died, Jesus would be vice president, he'd take over. But then what if Jesus died? There would be a big power struggle between Joseph, Mary, and the Holy Ghost to see who gets to be God.
Can I be your friend?
the speaker of the Holy House.
Yeah, I'm the president pro tem. I'm in charge here, says the Holy Ghost. My name's Al Haig, I mean the Holy Ghost, and I'm in charge here.
Casper.
Yeah, Casper, God, the ultimate dead baby joke.
Who's that? Casper the Weinberger?
No, Casper the friendly ghost.
Casper the friendly Weinberger?
Yes, we are. In fact, the 80s never really ended. I mean, look at the stock market. I mean, we're heading for a fall. We got Reagan was a Democrat.
Over?
Yeah, well, Reagan was like a former Democrat who became a Republican, and Clinton is a current Democrat who is becoming a Republican. And the stock market in '87 was up there in the stratosphere. Stock market in '96, the Dow's beaten, it's broken 6,400.
Right.
It's like, oh no.
I'll kill myself.
Yeah, well, everybody's losing their jobs because of computers, and it's like, yeah, I just got a computer at my job, and that's great because it's a great feeling to know that you can walk into work and fuck things up at the speed of light. Whoops, just wiped out everybody's records. Oh well. I'd like to work in the Pentagon, actually. If I were president, I think I'd play soccer with the nuclear football. That'd be a lot of fun. Kick it across the Oval Office rug, just to see what would happen. Then again, no. Hey, Steve! Are you going to come in and give the introduction or what? Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, he's just too captivated by the young damsel.
Helium neon lasers. Do not stare.
She's throwing herself
Ow!
at
Did
him.
you get that out of my eyes? Jeez.
Oh, can I have some Sprite?
Yes.
Where's your seltzer butter?
Gotta get a cup though.
Where's the cup?
Well, they're in the gift wrap bag.
In the dish rack?
Yeah. I
Pardon
come
me.
back for my intro here.
Anyone else want a cup?
No, thank you.
Do you want to shout it through a karaoke mic?
Oh wow, you can see yourself on that.
I can see myself on that monitor. Well, I will take a seat.
No, you have to get off stage, Francis. When is the video thing going?
It is going.
It's going now?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh.
Well, Francis, here, have a seat. Can't work.
I can't take someone. Well, that's Denny.
Yes, I do kind of, but it's not as good.
Well,
No, I don't
first
know.
let me pour myself a drink.
Liberty.
Why is the camera running now? This is unbelievable.
Because I'm here.
Because you're going to be on TV.
Oh, hey, look. Why don't you do the intro? You're a performer.
Yo, what am I, chopped liver?
Yes, you are. Because I am Marilyn.
Okay, so
Marilyn with a
This
cold.
can be your seat when I get up on stage.
Don't ever give up
Oh,
that
this
face,
is the
Mike.
stage?
Right.
You're on today. Okay, let me do my little thing here.
Well,
You
just,
come
can I have some Sprite though?
Sure.
Just
A
slug it
square
straight out of the
shape.
phone.
Well, anyway, everybody, welcome to, what do we call this, Francis? Cafe Longfellow?
494.
494.
That's a certain
That's funny, Longfellow's my middle name.
We want to thank Mother Nature for the beautiful
No, it
weather.
isn't.
It's 20 degrees out. And I just want to tell you all a few things first. First of all, I recently attended a New Age conference in which I had an out-of-pocket experience. And I also wanted to tell you all that all my friends are either musicians or, can I sit in something scene now? All my friends are either musicians or schizophrenics. And the musicians take hallucinogens, and the schizophrenics take anti-hallucinogens. And so I'm trying to introduce them to each other so that they can save a lot of money on drugs. And I also wanted to ask you all if anyone knew what the difference was between a mugger and a surgeon.
No, what?
Well, a mugger says, give me all your money or I'll stab you. And the surgeon says, give me all your money and I'll stab you.
Right.
Also, a mugger will not accept Medicaid.
That's true.
Although,
And muggers probably probably didn't undergo intense sleep deprivation in their mid-20s for a period of almost 2 years.
You can sit down now.
Nor do they have to hawk tea caddies to pay.
Well, there's some muggers who
medical
accept
school.
Medicaid. Aren't there companies that illegally use Medicaid money?
Actually, I think I'll just, yeah. I thought you meant like your axe over. You can sit down, though, son.
Bring out the hook.
Oh yeah, monkeys. You're right. Hey, we're the monkeys. People say they monkey around. We're too busy singing to make a statement about the Vietnam War. So anyway, oh yeah. So okay, right. Vietnam War, 1960s. Cambodia, Khmer Rouge.
Wasn't that when the North Vietnamese invaded America?
Khmer Rouge.
Sounds like a new fragrance by
Calvin
Well,
Klein.
there's 170,000 Cambodian people living in Lowell, Massachusetts.
170,000?
God,
Well, it
wouldn't
might
Pol
be
Pot have been better?
17,000.
Are they in
17.
bamboo cages? Or?
No, but there are ex-Khmer Rouge people who are there, and
Do
apparently
they,
go
do
around.
they smoke Pol Pot?
They go around and they apparently they're like some of a lot of the Cambodian people were intimidated by these ex-Khmer Rouge people. And I was thinking about this, and then I found out that Ed McMahon is from Lowell. And so I was thinking, well, Ed isn't exactly the most scrupulous person in the world. And what if he comes back to his hometown and he needs some work and he decides to work for the Khmer Rouge? He'd be like, "Hi, Ed McMahon here for the Khmer Rouge. You may already have lost millions of dollars.
Look at Pol Pot kill those peasants.
Do you wear glasses? Have a college education? Know a foreign language? This could be your unlucky day." Oh well.
Oh,
that's true.
Here's
that was pretty
Yanni.
good.
What's the last one? Hey, what did I put there?
It's right over there, in between the water jug and the Sprite.
Oh well, that was the last joke.
Cool.
Well,
Thank you for that lovely introduction.
I haven't
Steve.
introduced you yet.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of college educations and foreign languages and being out of luck, no, just kidding. The wrong hero.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am the wrong hero, but I am also an artist, a supreme intellectual, and a supreme intellectual such as myself creates his own moral universe. And now I'm going to sing this because it's like, I was not intended by destiny to be a mere clown whose sole purpose in life is to tickle the sores of a fickle mob. But then again, a gig's a gig, I'll take what I can get. I gotta use this sometime. I'm writing my autobiography. It's called Devil with a Blue Dress, although I think that title's already been taken. It's like, that was a genius movie. Devil with the blue dress, blue dress, blue dress, devil with the blue dress. Okay, Mitch Ryder. Good golly, Miss Molly. He really jazzes it up there. Timing is everything. Like, you can jazz up any boring, stupid rock and roll song, or any song really, by sticking in the word hey. Like, when the red robin goes blah 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 blah. Hey! Or you could take anything at all, any words, and make it into a thrash song. The Atlantic City Convention Visitors Authority agreed in principle, April 13th. Hey! So, just thought I'd mention it. On the way over here, I was thinking. On the way over here, I went from 0 to 60 in 10 seconds, and now I'm 99 years old. Now, on the way over here, I was thinking, everything is coming my way. That's because I was driving on the wrong side of the Mass Turnpike. Einstein was in the passenger seat going, zoom. That bears out my theory of zoom relativity. And I'm like, hey, Einstein, you're so smart, you drive. Oh, I can't drive. Oh, what? Oh, you're a fucking genius and you can't drive. It's typical American thinking, It's like, so I got pulled over by a policeman, and, there's a little trick I learned. Whenever you say the word sir, you can make it mean fatso. It's like, you'll be having 3 Big Macs, 2 orders of fries, and an extra large Coke. Here you go, sir. Enjoy your meal. So, the cop pulls me
It's one of the
over.
most insulting things to be called when someone says, sir.
I know. It's like, and you know, this has infinite ramifications. To serve with love, too fat, so with love. And, fatso, yes, fatso! And, anyway, so this policeman stops me and he goes, you know, you're doing 85 miles an hour in reverse. Can I see your license and registration? And, you know, I said, okay, I just do what the gun tells me to. You know, whenever I get stopped by a policeman, I like to play a nice little game. It's called Nice Victim, Mean Victim. And it's like, top of the morning to you, officer. Sure, and what's a police captain like you are doing a pound in the beat?
Francis, you gotta stop the Irish.
What? Yo, you gotta stop the...
Good a joke without making fun of the Irish.
I'm not making fun of the Irish. Don't you understand nothing? It's like Boston. Most cops 50 years ago were Irish. It's actually a tribute to the indomitable spirit of our Celtic friends, and not a mere ethnic slur, as you are attempting to imply. Okay, I'll do it in
Well, you
Italian.
got out of that one pretty good.
Hey, officer! Hey! Oh, yo, officer! Wait, what are you stopping me for, huh? You know,
Now he's Rocky.
I can do the Goomba thing too. I'm half Italian. It's okay. Half Polish. So I pick my own pockets, but the money's worthless. So those are... Well, so the officer stops me, and I play this nice little game called Nice Victim, Mean Victim, which goes something like, "Why were you going so fast?" Well, I was pretending the accelerator was a policeman's head because I was sucking on a cube of LSD, and I wanted to get home before I melted, sir. And he's like, okay, we'll let it go this time. See, it doesn't happen again.
What? Yeah, right.
Everybody wants to write the great American novel. Well, actually, that's not true. Nobody wants to write the great American novel anymore. Everybody wants to write the great American screenplay.
Everybody wants to read the great American novel, but no one wants to write it.
There you go. Once again.
No, they just want Harlequin romances.
Yeah, they just want
You
television.
know, who's
Comic
that
book form.
slut
They just
from
want-
Hollywood
The
that
Great
writes
American
all those
Songbook.
stupid things?
The great American comic book.
Who's that
Jacqueline,
slut?
whatever she is.
Or
Who's
TV
that
universe.
after-school special slut now?
Yeah,
Making
right.
Films for $1 million.
No, TV movies.
TV movies that are also PG-13,
Romance,
like
crap.
Well, I want to write the
Hollywood
lousy
Renaissance.
American novel.
What?
I want to write the lousy American novel, and it's going to
Well,
be called...
it's been done, so.
Oh,
you
many
know.
times.
Film later.
There you go, the lousy American... I could see the thing like, this is an enormous waste of trees. New York Times. How dare you inflict this slop on us? Washington Post. And it's like, I don't know, I kind of liked it. Boston Herald. And,
Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go.
Two
The
thumbs
most
down.
exhilarating movie of 1997.
Right.
Two thumbs down.
I'm a recombinant mutant. I give it 3 thumbs up. Yeah.
Word for me.
I really love the animation, Cisco.
But it's not an animated film either. Well, it doesn't matter. If it weren't an animated film, I would have loved it if it had been animated. Like, call our animation department. We don't have one. We'll get one. Like it's easy.
Expand. Never mind.
Well, that, you know, most animation is just rotoscoping, which is like filming some dude and then drawing over it.
No.
Yeah. And most superheroes wear skin-tight outfits because comic book artists studied anatomy, and they're just drawing the human form in its naked recumbence, and you know, and they have these skin-tight outfits, and you know, they get rid of the suspicious bulges and stuff. But
No, they don't. It's porno for
They
children.
enhance the
You're right.
suspicious bulges.
yeah, sometimes it depends on whether you're the Dr. Frederick Wordham worldview or not. Like, I see a penis in Robin's shoulder blades. You know, it's,
That's Batman.
who is this Aunt Harriet? You know, is she really just some guy in drag or what? I need to know.
Batman
Well-
and Robin have been boinking for the past 20 years. Did you know that?
Look what happened to him, though.
One of the
Oh, they
Robins
He
drank
went
died.
hot
horseback
chocolate.
riding and he had a terrible accident.
Oh,
now
that
he's
one.
paralyzed.
Oh, that one. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Well, I had,
Forget about Hollywood.
I had $1 and not much to do on a warm summer's day, so I bought a box of tampons.
Oh, well, that's it.
And my friend said, why? And I said,
Chocolate
well, look
shots.
at it. It says right here on the box. You can go swimming, you can go horseback riding.
You need a female commentary on that one.
It costs a lot more than $1.
You're right.
Well, we'll have a tampon
gives you the
show
provenance
next
of that joke.
Right.
Well,
model tampons for us. So.
Oh, cool.
Model
Gina
tampons,
Taylor.
what a great idea.
Dun, 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 dun. Here he comes on his horse.
Now why don't they have explicit tampon commercials in porno
How to
magazines
ride. With
advertising modeling tampons? It would
And
be
what if they have
pornography,
women having
and it
menstrual
would be-
cycles
it would
in
be-
porno
the company would
magazines,
pay.
plugging themselves up with tampons?
They didn't
Wouldn't
even-
that be a turn on?
They didn't even have genital hair until 1970.
How about women hiding for
Really?
5 days,
I must have been
like
advanced
under
then.
sheets and
I
under
had it when I was
pillowcases with
55.
boxes of chocolates.
Marilyn Monroe didn't used to use anything. She used to just lie on the bed and
Can we get serious and go back to
put it
Batman?
all over.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll get to Batman.
Yes.
What did you have on when you had
Yeah.
that picture taken, Marilyn? The radio. You know, just, okay.
Yeah.
She's going to college.
All right, then I'll talk about pickup lines.
How about Funkadelic for the anorexic 90s?
But she didn't have anybody.
You picket this and protest that, but you're afraid to eat, but you don't eat anything because you're afraid you'll get fat?
What?
You eat innocent. So Funkadelic.
Marilyn Monroe would look beautiful if she was like all distressed and she had like menstrual blood like all over her like pornographic hips, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Standing
J.
over
Edgar
standing
Hoover's
over a
She's
human being.
anorexic at the end of her life.
Maryland. How about a
heard
brand
she ate a
tampon
steak
called
every
Maryland
day.
tampon?
No.
How about instead of those little rockin' Jesuses
She
on the
was
dashboard,
fat.
you got a little Maryland on the dashboard with the circle
What?
up when the heat goes on.
How about
What?
Jesus
Maryland
brand
Virgin
tampon?
Mary.
Hula dressers. Or Jesus.
No, Jesus tampon.
Madonna-
James
Madonna's
Dean
the Hula skirt
Jesus,
on.
Marilyn the Virgin Mary. Why didn't I think of it before? Okay,
Okay.
well, so, I got some, I've been out of the dating scene for a while. Next time I'm gonna do some golf jokes and Republican jokes and mother-in-law jokes, but now I'm gonna do the failed pickup lines jokes. Don't you just love my post-ironic blasé delivery?
I know a failed pickup line. Can I borrow a quarter?
That's a good one. Here's a good one too. It's like, hi, I'm 39 and a half years old.
Here, you can put on Aramis or Aramis 900.
What? I don't know if I'm ready for Aramis 900.
You like radioactive?
Hi, you like what you
That's
see?
the
You
Magnum
think you can
strength.
take it?
Like a bullet, Aramis 900 comes out of nowhere. It
That's
stuns
good.
anyone.
Also
Did you catch
try.
that, Francis?
What?
That works for me.
Hi, you like what you see? You think you can take it?
No. Or just think you can take it.
Yeah, right. Period.
Let's
Just
see.
walking on the street screaming. Think you can take it? Think you can take it? Think you can take it?
I don't
No.
recall this act being billed as Plato's seminars. Let's see. The pickup lines. My friends call me Death Breath. I don't believe in mouthwash because it only kills the weak germs. And who wants to walk around with a mouthful of strong germs? I gave my cat a bath with my tongue. Do you know what the most?
Steve Martin.
Is it? Oh my God.
Francis, you've been discredited.
Oh, either I'm like sitting around furtively listening to Steve
You
Martin
need to,
records.
you need to use that Aramis 900 twice as hard now.
All right.
On to plan B.
But what about all the jokes that Steve Martin has done that I thought of first, but he gets the credit because he's famous? Huh?
He puts them on his liner notes.
See, I mean, the thing is, you know, there's only a limited field of like comedic endeavor, to draw from. It's like, hey, the Rolling Stones copped that lick from Blind Lemon Jefferson. Well, they only got 3 chords to play with, and there's only but so many permutations of the same 3 chords, and if they throw a 4th one in, and maybe that increases it by 25%. I don't know.
Yeah, what's with this 145 stuff anyway? Jeez.
Yeah, really. Oh, my friends do 151, man, because they're in the Velvet Underground.
The tonal system. They just ripped it off from the Greeks, man.
Yeah, who they think they are, anyway.
It's old. The Greeks did it a long time ago.
Hey, man,
That's not all the
you
Greeks
used the
did.
same letters of the alphabet I did. Like, hey,
What else do the Greeks
I
do,
wouldn't,
Michael? Tell us.
like my
They
dog
fucked
to
each
sit on
other.
it.
That was the Romans.
I'm sorry.
And the Greeks.
No, the Romans killed each
Let me
other.
go back.
The Romans made fun of the Greeks because they
That
fucked each
was
other without
only
killing each
Sappho.
other.
It wasn't just Sappho.
I don't know which one she
Well, earlier in the kitchen we were having a little seminar about our favorite rock and roll performers.
Well, I just know that Greek means something.
Hairy arms. Somebody's got hairy arms. They've got hairy arms. They're Greek.
Interesting
Hey, anybody
dynamics
can
in this.
talk about your theology in Cambridge. This is easy.
Let's see. Seldom do the people in the front row talk during the entirety of the set. Usually it's the people in the back row.
We're just getting warmed up back here.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're just getting.
We're competing with you, Francis.
Oh, that's right. Scent of a woman. It's like, I think you've said enough, sir. I'm just getting warmed up. Such an inspiring movie.
It's a free market. This is a free market. See, these people don't believe in centralized authority.
Yeah.
Of course not.
What's that?
Yeah, right.
The island.
Mere anarchy is.
Oh, actually, you just stimulated dialogue among the people.
That Wonder Woman.
It doesn't take much to
She'll go
stimulate
out
dialogue among those.
to bite it and fell into the sea.
What
Monologue.
about your anarchy light, Francis?
You've stimulated parallel monologues.
Anarchy light, only half as destabilizing as the leading forms of political chaos. Also try new Anarchy Red, Anarchy 100s, Anarchy Extra Mild.
You have any jokes about alcoholic vampires?
Alcoholic vampires.
Yeah.
Something
Sad.
like.
Well, but you know, vampirism and alcoholism, I mean, they're two very red wine, you know, and all that
And
crap.
then
Do
everything.
vampires get AIDS?
Hey, that's a very interesting question for the
What?
Vampires get AIDS.
Vampires, they thrive on AIDS.
Probably.
Now, where did,
They are.
you
They're the
heard about the
They give
vampire
it
who
to
went to
everyone.
the shrink, right? Kept complaining and complaining about his family and his life and everything like that, and the shrink finally got sick of it and said, I'm sick of hearing you blaming other people for your problems. I think it's time for you to take a good look at yourself in the mirror.
Well, I went to my dentist the other day, he's also a psychiatrist, and he said, your cavities are all in your head. The comics are never funny. Why do they call them the comics? You know, you read something like The Family Circus, I know it's like shooting fish in a barrel, but
Is that still going?
it sure is.
Talking
Good
about
old
vampires.
Bill Keane. Where's he from anyway? Minnesota or something?
He's from a mental hospital.
Pennsylvania.
I saw Stephen Wright. He was awesome.
Oh, he's funny.
Oh yeah.
He's so deadpan.
Yeah,
He's incredible.
Bill Keane.
when people pay $30 to see you, they generally don't talk during your set either. But Bill
Well,
Keane,
we're not paying $30 to see
I know, that's just it, you know, my major pay.
We're sitting all the nuts and drinking all the whiskey.
We don't
can
have
find.
candlelight and tables.
Yeah, where are the
Where are those
where are
nuts?
these candles?
Well, you could have invited the Ditz crowd.
The what?
What? The Ditz crowd?
Yeah.
Who are
He
those?
thought he
People
already
who
did.
are used to being fed entertainment like 24 hours a day.
Oh, I get it.
We're
I
not
see.
used to it.
We are autonomous, free-thinking individuals. Therefore, our appreciation for art only extends as far as the borders of our...
Ego.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's, I can
It
learn...
has a lot to do with it.
I can learn some things from a crowd like this. Yeah. There's the fun. So Steve will be our designated telephone answer. Yeah, Bill Keane. Just once I'd like to see a family circus where little Dolly says something like, Grandpa's ghost just told me to throw Jesus down the toilet. I think that would be the last family circus comic strip, if that were to happen. One of these days, Bill Keane really is going to go off the deep end. But you read,
I think he already has.
when you read stuff like Shoe, you know, it's just puns. You know, well, you're working hard today. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, what a fucking gutbuster, man! That's the funniest fucking thing. It's like the obnoxious drunken teenager in the
That's
anti-alcohol.
it, man. When you
ad.
start ranking on Shoe, man. That's
Oh,
it.
that's it. I'm out of here.
What do you think of Dilbert?
Oh, it's okay. I sometimes find my tie curling up like that. I'm afraid people will think that I'm emulating Dilbert. So, it's sort of made it unsafe to be slovenly in the workforce. I have to wear a tie at work. Well, I don't have to, but I started wearing a tie, and if I stopped, then they'd think I was taking the job
What
for
kind
granted.
of job did you have that you didn't have a computer and then you got one?
Library science, of course.
Wow.
They only computerized as recently as, like, some of them still haven't, but 87, 89, somewhere in there.
Check this out.
So do you do data entry on that or something?
Well, I don't do data entry per se. I'm an information technician, and I help people to access information.
Aren't you engaged, honey? Stick up your
What happened? You turned your back for a minute. Look at that. Hey, I got a question for you. What's so funny about pundits anyway?
Well, it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be wise.
Well, yeah, they're called pundits.
Oh, you're not gonna put her in there?
In where?
She looks great on the film.
Okay. Instead of the existentialist witch doctor. Oh, what's the use?
Keep the faith.
Oh dear.
Wow,
What's up, Francis?
Quigley.
How's it going?
Is that Steven Swank?
No,
He's up.
No, he's in
off
the
his
kitchen.
back.
No,
Okay, I'll change. Quick, have a seat.
Sure.
Sit.
What you doing here?
Oh, I'm doing the same thing you are, I guess.
I like that.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Okay,
I was wondering
shameless
when you
pandering.
were
Oh wow,
surplus.
man, all the
I
cool
just
people
last
are here.
week.
Now the show can really start. Yeah, right. It's like a Fantastic Four villain. Soon, my evil puppets will destroy the world. What is this obsession with destroying the world that these comic book villains have? So like, soon Sandor and his Herculoids will be no more, and the planet will be ours. You know, it's like God. They could have jazzed up the Republican convention a little bit though. Soon Bill Clinton and his liberals will be no more. With lip syncing and everything, you know. And the planet will be ours. Well, you know, the thing is, I'm not here to reform anybody. All of my reforming impulses have been sucked up into a whirlpool of 24-hour-a-day gambling, illicit sex, and over-the-counter pharmaceuticals. So that's not where I'm at. To introduce myself yet again, like the insecure politician who is a freshman Republican congressman who says his full name as many times as he possibly can in a 30-second soundbite to ensure that you know what his full name is. I'm the wrong hero. Now, they say you have to repeat yourself 7 times in order to be understood by a crowd. I won't insult your I'm the wrong hero intelligence by I'm the wrong hero doing this little trick, I'm the wrong hero.
Good,
But,
Francis. We appreciate it.
oh, thanks, pal. All right, no more interruptions from the likes of you. I sound like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I'm just pretending, so you can
Hey,
pretend
do
to
your
call the
belligerent
police.
drunk singing pop songs.
Yeah, okay.
Smart.
You know, everything, a place for everything and everything in its place. These incessant interruptions are beginning to get on my nerves. Not that I have any nerves. You know, I don't have a mean
Well,
bone.
we'll try not to from now on.
Hey, who said you could sit in the front row?
I think we needed sparklers and Christmas lights. What do you think?
How about this? The voice of doom. I'm sort of waiting for Swamp to get in here because,
Swamp.
Hey, Steve, come on in.
Hey, Steve, come on in.
He doesn't wish to be known by that name anymore.
Oh, Steve, okay. What should we call him then? Golden Master?
Steve.
Stevie. Well, I don't blame him, you know. Swamp. Yeah. What is it, a swank swing? I don't know.
Condos in the swamplands.
Romping through the swamp? So. Hey, Steve! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Steve. Well, I guess he's in the bathroom.
You can call him Owen Floyd one.
Oh, well.
Actually, you'll make the rest of us nervous.
Oh, I didn't recognize you.
I didn't recognize her the
That's
first
right. I
few
have
seconds
glasses.
either.
You get your haircut.
And I got my hair cut. And I reblonded it.
Oh.
So it's not surprising.
Uh-oh.
Just the same.
I don't want to be tempted to blonde mine again.
You look like a completely
It's
different
fine,
person.
like real hair color.
Nah, it's the same old line.
All gray.
Yeah.
Hey, what is this, Beach Boys party? We are gonna break into a chorus of,
Come on, brother.
you gotta hide your love away. Ba, 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 ba.
Invited by a character.
Hey! Hey, no, they were on to that
I
trick.
met you at a party. One night, your calls out. One mix.
Secret.
Finally, I came to the big city, so I gave you your number.
These tunes
I
are
invited him to a party at my place, if you're also.
Oh, great.
Really?
Oh,
December the 3rd.
what's the occasion?
Hot
My
sauce
bi-monthly
for you
party.
only.
I
It's
see.
gonna be tomorrow.
I was just narrating. I was just
That's
saying.
about the right
Francis
distance.
is supposed to control the audience.
And if
Hey,
you
Losing
lose, I keep the
control.
leftovers from the
They've
last
given
one.
you
Used
right?
to
another.
authoritarian.
Exactly. How
Man,
about
it's taken away.
serve them
Like-
for next
like
party?
I never had.
What's that?
I'm a secret agent.
Oh no.
Hey, that's sweet. I think the only problem is the camera should really be on the crowd instead of
Oh,
on.
I didn't know there was camera.
Secret
I'm
agent
in
man
love
living in the
with the
project.
crowd.
They've given you
Oh.
and taken
Taken
away
away
your
my
faith.
Oh. All right, now that I'm standing on a podium, perhaps now I can make myself clearly understood.
Why don't you sit
Oh,
on the
sorry.
right
You don't have to talk
side?
down to us.
What?
A Velcro star.
You're just showing off your whatever.
You've got to demand an audience.
Demand-
You've got to demand the attention of your.
Oh, in other words, it's like, I know everything. I've been on the stage for 11 years, and let me tell you something right now. You've got to demand their attention, even if they don't want to give it.
Come
You've
in,
got to
come
bludge
in.
them out.
Hey, threaten. Cajole.
All right, cajole.
Threaten to burn us with lit cigarettes if we don't listen.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's the girly. That's the combat zone, Steve. This is Cambridge.
Well, in Man Ray right down the street.
Oh, that was Man Ray. All right. Well,
Yeah, Man Ray, it's like football, but you know who's gonna win the game, you know? It's like, you always know who's gonna win.
well, maybe this microphone will make myself perfectly understood. I just flew in from Australia, and I scorched an Aborigine with my jetpack. Don't you hate it when that happens? Happens to me all the time.
Did you go to Abo Hut?
Oh, I can't go into Abo Hut anymore. Do you know about Abo Hut? It's the people that do that Canadian theme restaurant. They've got they're branching out to doing come to Abo Hut. Come waltzing Matilda with us at Abo Hut. Koala bears, please leave all eucalyptus leaves at the front door. It's like we accept most credit cards, dingo pelts, and owl pellets, and at Abo Hut. Well, I like to pretend to be a soldier so I can smoke in hospitals. That's what I like to do, among other things. I broke up with my fiance. See, that's why I haven't been able to command the attention of the audience. I'm kind of depressed a little bit. Hi, I'm Princess Leia. Or should I have done that this way? Back, I say. Yeah, so I broke up with my fiance of 7.5 years. I was really nice about it though.
Wait a minute, you really did?
No.
Oh.
She broke up with
But
him.
now it sort of ruins the whole premise.
I'm sorry.
She was an existentialist, so I gave her a disengagement ring. And when I broke up with her, I thought I'd be really nice about her, so I said, every time we make love, I see God. And he told me to stop going out with you. But I like to do guy things. I'm sorry. I mean, I can talk about tools and pickup trucks and making lots and lots of money. And apes like to grub for termites and hollow logs. I like to talk about the dating game and how going to dating bars is sort of like walking into a savannah and you're a chimp with no inhibitory forebrain and a female chimp sort of jumps on top of your head and supplies you with one. That's the thing. And when I was
Hey, fresh fruit.
fresh fruit. When I was a kid, I used to
Stick the straw in the anthill.
Yeah, that's it.
Smart, I never thought of that.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, not only that, but you get your seagull friend to pick up the mollusk and drop it from a great height,
Germany, they'll teach you these
and it
things.
shatters.
But it's only
And
in
you
the
can
German
pick out
army.
the tasty
Is Stephanie
little
going to the German ones?
stuff
Yeah,
inside.
probably.
Hey! You like me. You actually like me. Well, when I was a kid, I used to think the moon followed me around, and I realized that it was actually following my father around because he owed it money. And
That's a reference to
What?
to what?
reference
Piaget?
to the child psychologist Jean Piaget, who
Talked
observed that
about
all children felt that the moon was following them around.
Yes, I studied developmental psychology. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
We also thought that all inanimate objects
Steve,
had
I've been waiting for you to show up because I could ask you this question.
Yes?
Like, you ever go to libraries in Virginia?
Gee, no.
Steve, everybody.
See, because I was wondering. hear it for Steve.
I'll have to take a trip.
Only when I was in school. When I was in school, I went to the library.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I was
You wanna
wondering,
learn how to make
what is a
hungry,
Southern
you pick up
librarian like? And he was like, hey, come on in. You can't come in here unless you got a beer. Come on, let's party. What? You looking for the autobiography of Tammy Faye Baker? That's in the reference section next to Mario Andretti's book. And, you know, I was wondering about that, you know. It's like, please do not spit chewing tobacco in the drinking fountains. We got spittoons for that. And, so.
And what about the level, they're level-headed?
Well, if it's a female librarian, I hear the female Southerners are very genteel, like Jackie here, so they wouldn't talk like that.
Thank you, Murray. I was going to tell the hero that people have been known to read books that are from that region. Have even been known to write some pretty good ones.
Gosh darn it.
Between spits.
That's right, Francis, you're
They have library,
perpetuating
but
Oh, okay.
degenerative stereotypes.
It's okay to make fun of rednecks because they're
You
the
thought you were
overdogs.
safe. You thought they were
Because
not
you're in
here.
Massachusetts.
That's what you thought. It was safe, but you were wrong. We're everywhere.
You know,
Southern white,
You've infiltrated.
I just want to make one point. Southern whites are the only people that you're allowed to stereotype in Massachusetts. You can say anything you want about
That's
Southern
right.
whites, and no one will give you a hard time. When you say anything about anyone else, everybody says it's prejudice. I just wanted to say that.
Spoken as a true Southern white, what are you?
he's from
Well,
Pittsburgh.
I'm from an honorary Southern
He's
place.
from a borderland.
Pittsburgh is honorary Southern.
I'm a Southern white, South Shore.
Well, okay, I don't want to get too
Close enough.
autobiographical, but I'm going to have to make a cowardly, amoral inventory of my faults now. I didn't
Uh-oh.
do, I didn't do
Oh,
nothing.
dig deep.
Yeah, okay, I'll try. I'm the wrong hero. Alcoholic. Drug addict. Easy guy to shop for around Christmas time. So there's an upside to everything. You know, when I was a kid, we were, you know,
Is that a hint?
we were poor, but we were dirty. And, you know, I used to go next door and I'd say to the neighbor woman, can I borrow a cup of paste? Never mind the cup, I'll eat it here. And then, as I grew older, I'd go next door to the crack house and say, can I borrow a cup of heroin? Never mind the cup, I'll take it right here.
Crack house, isn't that in Fulton?
Yeah, that's right. They make a pretty good beer there, too.
Isn't there a difference between crack and heroin?
Yeah! No, actually.
Yeah, but if
Oh,
you do
they're
both,
both
those
one and the
Dunkin'
same.
Hines brownies now.
Is there a difference between John Lennon and Paul McCartney? I mean,
No, I mean yes.
John, George, Paul, Ringo. they're
One's
all-
dead and one's alive.
Oh, yeah, there's
But
that.
they're both rumored to be dead.
there's a difference between
Yeah,
crack
right.
and heroin. But if you do them both at the same time, you get too fucked up to remember what it is.
I don't know. Where is Mark?
Oh, I think Mark is,
Hey, I never saw you laugh before. That's the first time I've
Well,
ever
I
seen
guess
you
you're a
laugh.
good comedian. But this is the guy who's supposed to be making me laugh. Doesn't he make you feel bad by saying that, pointing that out?
I have a question. Is it better to fly a private plane on crack or heroin?
I say.
Didn't Husker Du write a song called Private Plane?
yeah, I think they did. And they also wrote, one of them wrote this song called The Maine. You know that song? The Maine, remember your name, remember the things that I became.
People in the environment where you're sitting at, so
You gotta think about the reception you're gonna receive when you get there.
You'll get shot with the heroin.
Half an hour, 20 minutes later, you'd be,
I can see I opened up a vein here, so.
You're getting warm.
It's all in
Can I ask her one of those bulbs?
No.
Is it too bright in here? Oh, okay.
Need Christmas
that was
lights.
the wrong hair driven off his aura.
That's right. You
What?
don't have to
The
prod
wrong
me.
what?
The wrong hair.
The wrong-
Francis, I've never seen you so calm before while you're performing.
Well, maybe that's because I'm not really performing. Everybody else is taking it. I'm just, I just happen to be the guy that's standing here.
Are you going to leave a list at TT's on Monday with all our names on it so that we will not be admitted?
No, that's okay. Y'all come to TT's on Monday night where I'm the featured performer at the Stone Soup Poets.
Done it, been there.
Yes.
Why are you going to perform in front of hippies?
Right.
Perform in front of hippies. You know where I was during Woodstock?
There are no hippies.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you where I was during Woodstock. I was drinking
They're all
Coca-Cola,
in the West Coast.
eating McDonald's.
There are no hippies anywhere.
Just one of those old quaint folk legends.
Try as they might. They've got combat boots for one thing, and hippies didn't wear combat boots.
They're
No,
all
they
under
didn't.
the
Your mother wears combat
They
boots.
were camouflage uniforms with paisleys.
They
They
wore
had no
bell
fashion.
bottoms, and they didn't have
And
guns.
this icky
Oh,
tie
damn
dye.
it, they imported those drugs, man. And they imported it from
Nabob.
Vietnam.
Right.
I was in
Oh,
Vietnam,
not
man.
just Vietnam.
I was in Vietnam last week on vacation. Me and my wife went to
Well, if it wasn't for
Vietnam.
those goddamn hippies, man, we would have, when the North Vietnamese invaded America back in '68, we would have won the war.
I was at the Kennedy assassination,
That's why Nixon
I
told
did
them
it.
to go out and mow
Yeah.
them down.
but I was only 5 years
Get
old
going
and
and flying all over the place.
and Oswald had to help me aim. You know, he put me up on some Texas
Well,
telephone
then that
directories.
means
He was at
that
the
they've
Texas Books
actually
Directory,
achieved their
so
purpose.
this adds credence to my story.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Was there a spittoon?
What's the
there?
deal with classes, man?
Don't know.
Okay, so
I'm not saying it anymore.
I like to do a routine called The Drunk at the Karaoke Bar. Now, does anybody have any musical selections? Because, you know, most people when they sing in a karaoke bar, they can't quite hit the high notes, but, you know, your average intoxicated American individual, he doesn't really care if he can hit the high notes, and his taste in music tends towards sentimental favorites more than contemporary hits. So the screen is flashing something like Afternoon Delight, and he's going, feeling, or The Killer. Oh, Daddy boy. It's not the world's longest song, it just seems like it when once the drunk at the karaoke bar gets going.
How about Elton John?
Oh, okay, Philadelphia freedom put me now to a man. That's not the only thing that put a knee high to a man, I'll tell you that. Well, Saturday night's alright.
I object.
Good, I was hoping.
How about Barbara Streisand?
Oh,
God.
please.
Going down the Stony End. There we go. Stony End. I'm 5. I'm a big girl now. I'm 5. What do you think? I'm free? Not me. What do you think? I'm 4? I'm more than 4. I'm even more than 4.5. I'm 5.
A candy man.
Hey, Fred.
Nobody is gonna rain on my parade.
The
They
candy
call
man
me
does.
second-hand road. Second-hand clothes. What's the point of this fucking song? That's why they call me second. Oh, and of course Frank Sinatra, you know, and his pal Dean Martin, and his pal Sammy Davis Jr. You can just sort of get them all jumbled up, you know. I did it, the candy man, that's amore.
How many of those guys are still alive? Of that 7?
Well,
7
Sammy Davis called,
Triad.
and
I write the song. Yeah,
Frank Sinatra was dying, but not really, and
He died for our sins.
7 of them all together.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole
Dean
pair.
Martin is still
The
alive.
whole pair with the other guy.
No,
The
Dean Martin died.
Dean
You know,
Martin died?
Yes, he did. And I wanted to open up a chain of 1 hour Dean
And also the one who was
Martinization
married to a
shops,
Kennedy
you
died.
know? Like instead of getting your clothes dry
Joe
cleaned,
Kennedy?
you
No.
like walk in there and they make you
The
into
one,
Dean
no.
Martin.
Peter Sellers.
It's like every time
Yeah.
it rains, it rains.
No, not
Rains,
Peter
rains.
Sellers, but
Yeah.
Peter Lawford.
Peter Law.
Okay, you know who Dean Martin reminds me of?
He was a mess.
Dean Martin will live forever as Sugar Bear. You know? No, Sugar Bear. Can't get enough of that sugar, Chris. Come on, it's Dean Martin. Haven't you seen? What are you, blind? Well, actually, Bill Clinton is Sugar Bear, and Dean Martin is Sugar Bear, and Sammy Davis Jr. is Sugar Bear too. I mean, you know, they're all tapped into the Sugar Bear zeitgeist. In fact,
The zeitgeist.
can it not truly be said that Sugar Bear
Is that a plug for
Or-
a gallery?
is like the central symbol of the age? Sugar Bear.
It's Ross Perot and Ralph Nader and Rob Dole.
Ralph Nader is Count Chocula. Bob Dole is Frankenberry. We've been through this before. Perot is Quisp.
Quist. Do an impression of Ross Perot as Quist, Francis.
Well, no.
I feel this way about it.
I like to say that. I like it. Oh no, use Edgar G. Robinson, but like in a higher pitch. Like, all right, you guys, all right, now, shy.
Yeah, see? Yeah, see?
We're here.
It's
Yeah,
two-party system. Yeah, see?
Wouldn't that be hellish? You know what I always
Where's
thought?
your Messiah now?
I always thought a vision of hell would be the song. Round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. Can you imagine a hell in which a monkey chases a weasel around a mulberry bush for all eternity? I mean, it just gets to me when I hear that song. My little nephews had his.
I know, and they have those boxes where you keep turning it around and around and around, and it plays that song over and
The
over.
drunk at the karaoke bar runs out of repertoire and starts reverting to childhood favorites. Round and round the mulberry bush, monkey chases the weasel. Yep, like that Leonard Cohen song, like a drunk in a midnight choir. Oh, holy night. He goes into religious stuff. Oh, sacred and surrounded by crown of piercing thorns. And he tries to jazz it up like Dean Martin or say, oh, bleeding head so wounded, if I put the scorn, yeah. All right, drive them nails in there. Yeah, he gets a little carried away.
Do some Who songs, Francis.
I had enough of being nice. Life is for the living. He only remembers every other verse. Fooling no one but ourselves. Here comes the end of the world. That's not the end of this song. Of the world. Or, let's see. Out here in the streets, I fight for my meat. Wherever it is I fight for, I don't remember right now. Can I have another drink, please?
Can I have another girl?
Yeah, that's right. Here we go.
I fight for my meat.
Let's see. Last time I saw my car was on the end of this here key. Hey, mister, your zipper's open. Good God, they stole my girl. Yeah. Arr. 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 Bob Dole is pirate. Arr. We're gonna get rid of Medicare. Me. Voice to Jolly Roger. Full steam ahead. Full Magnum 5 in Davy Jones' locker. Somewhere out there, I believe there's a bullet with my name on it.
Well, lucky you.
And it's been writing bad checks all over town. I can't get no credit.
No credit at all.
I walked into a bank and I was stoned. And a nickel fell out of my pocket and I said, get back in there, little brother. You're with the big boys now. Pick that nickel right up. Put it in my pocket.
I once wrote a song called Stoned on the Bus to the tune of Up on the Roof.
Cool.
Stoned
Down by the
bus.
freeway, that's where we used to play, under the freeway. Freeway.
Got a good reason for taking the easy way out. She was in day treatment 5 days a week, yeah. It took me so long to find out, but I found out.
I don't want to be a pinhead no more.
What's
It's good to know
you. It's very difficult.
It's so good to know you.
You know, here in the big city, I still feel kind of lost, and it's kind of odd because I've been living here for 20 years. Well, maybe it's because of my upbringing. You know, my daddy was a meat and potatoes man. And his arms were made of French fries, and his legs were made of steak. And he said to my mother, "What kind of nightmare world is this you've brought me into?" And yeah, I'm getting old, but the nice thing about being old is you're too weak to be angry. You know, it's like I just can't really. I walked into Harvest, the health food store. I said, "Give me a pound of them Granny Smith apples." And they said, "We prefer to refer to them as Elder Smith apples." And they said, "Well, I was about them mixed nuts. We call them emotionally challenged nuts." Please. I'm doing a gig.
What do they call mothballs now?
Gee,
Testicle.
butterfly-deprived citizen balls. I don't know. I had a friend, Harold Bauer. He got bitten by a larval moth and had to go to the hospital. The deadly moth. He lurks in your closets, Not only does he eat your clothing, but his spawn will put your child in the hospital by filthy and moth. Spawn.
That was funny.
Spawn of
Thanks. So I'm doing a poetry reading on Monday, and I was thinking of telling them, you know, they should replace poetry readings with poverty readings, because I mean, that's what they really are. Like, no, what's this with this war on poverty? Let's have a war on poetry. No surer way to get it to the mainstream than to declare war on it. I declare a cultural war on rhymed verse. Ozymandias, get back. You know, it's like Percy Bysshe Shelley. It sounds like a medicine. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Or, well, the reason I'm a comedian, and that can be disputed, is that I flunked metal shop. Because and you know what metal shop just trained?
Hat that he's wearing.
Yeah, it just trains you to be a factory worker. I mean, you know, what 8th grader with half a brain and a fighting chance of 3 digits wants to be a goddamn factory worker? So there you are in metal shop, making little solder men. You know, you get the solder and you melt it, you make it in little men, and you pretend it's the shop instructor, and you crush it in a vice grip. You know, it's like, take that, Mr. Mahoney. And it's like, what are you doing there? Oh, I'm just making... I just wanted to see something. You're not making solder men and pretending they're me and crushing them in a vice grip, are you? No. Actually, I was gonna melt some army soldiers over some grasshoppers. Well, that's more like it. That's what I like to see. Yeah. Okay. I'm a manly man. Yeah.
Was that your shop teacher, Francis, Mr. Mahoney?
No, that wasn't his name actually. I don't remember what his name was. I blanked it out because, and I have wood shop too, and I spent all semester making a Indian head out of a piece of pre-carved wood, and that's the only thing I did. I watched Nanny and the Professor and the Brady Bunch, and I stayed up late the night before and never went to school on Wednesday morning, so I virtually flunked wood shop. And
did they have mechanical drawing class, which was totally obsolete by the time you graduated high school?
Oh, they had Marvel Comics, drawing Marvel Comics, which is the same thing, you know.
Oh my God.
Well, that's true.
And we mechanical drawing and the teacher.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. How everything gets archaic.
The teacher's name was Mr. T.
Everything we learned. Everything we learn in elementary school is basically archaic. Like, I went to a school that was like maybe 90% black, and it was right next to a housing project, and, where I also lived. And our music teacher was named Old Lady Johnson. I don't know if she had a first name. And they used to sing cruel songs about her, like Old Lady Johnson sat in an electric chair, burned off her underwear. And
oh my God.
And she said, "Well, class, where's my sheet music? You took it and you hid it." Class, today we're going to do Old Black Joe. And she looks up, sees the black faces staring at her. Oh, maybe we'll skip that one this year. You know, she's just really. And Pittsburgh, it's such a lame place. You know, they think horseradish is a mind-altering substance there. They're really behind the times, like 30, 40 years. And like in Pittsburgh, when you call somebody a pal, it doesn't mean that they're your friend. It means that he's a personal ass licker. It's like
if you call someone a pal, it means you're not going to punch them on the shoulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see, you came from Squirrel Hill. That's not really a part of Pittsburgh. It's a suburb surrounded by bohunks, basically. And but you know, I've had occasion to go down south, and there's one thing I noticed about Southerners, and forgive me.
That would require a higher power than mine.
I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and you know, Athens, Georgia. I slept on a train through Mississippi because I was afraid if I were awake, they'd find some excuse to throw me in a ship. No, really, literally. I spent some time in New Orleans. Great place, you know. You can buy liquor in laundromats. You can buy liquor in delicatessens. You can buy liquor in graveyards. You can buy liquor anywhere in New Orleans. It's a wide open town. It's about the only place you can piss anywhere you want and no one will arrest you. So anyway, I've noticed something about Southerners. They're the most hospitable people in the world, but when they get angry, it's like they're all they talk like they're taking a shit. It's like, what you doing around here anyway? Want to get this thing out of here? and Midwesterners, salt of the earth, but very circumlocucious. Like, excuse me, mister, can you tell me which way is the city hall? Well, let's see, you can go back by where the old barn used to be before it burned down back in '83, or you could take the scenic route and go by way of Route 3, and then you take a cut off on the Route 5, and you go through that cornfield yonder, and you just head up right over there, up where that hill, where the schoolhouse used to be, where they tore it down and put up a crack house, and there you go, the town square. You know, you say, you're not from around here now, are you? They always want to know, you're not from around here now, are you? It's like, well, yes, I am from around here, but you purblind fool, have failed to notice it for 50 years. So, but that wouldn't work. And in California, everything is, people are so excruciatingly conscientious that it sort of gives you a headache. It's like, hey, did you see that show on television last night? I didn't watch that program. I only watch programs written by American Indians. So, you know, it's just too much. And Boston has the same inferiority complex that San Francisco has, or Chicago has, actually. Boston is sort of like New York City Junior. And the nice thing about Boston is the only culture in Boston anymore is a frozen yogurt. And that's dead too. You know, Boston's basically a hamlet blown up to poster size, and Providence is like Boston Junior. It's like New York City, 1987, 10-year-old selling crack. Boston, 1993, 10-year-old selling crack. Providence, 1996, 10-year-old selling crack. So, you know, it's just, and I wonder what Providence Junior is. Probably somewhere like Hartford, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Again, teeming with good ideas. We're running the gamut here, and it's wonderful. Well, now I'm going to put on a fake air of hysteria, which is going to convince you that I'm actually a stimulating public speaker. Casey, your light is busted! What? You weren't supposed to understand that. I'll do it in slow motion. Can I see your lighter? Basically, I want the government to outlaw me, so I can be sold for $20 a gram in front of housing projects. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm trying to run away from the fucking Joneses because I trash their lawn. You know, like these wheelies on their front lawn. I learned a lot of stuff from my dog. I learned how to piss in the corner. I learned how to beg for treats with my genitalia exposed. I learned a lot from my dog, I'm telling you right now. Let's see, learned how to fuck in the streets, and I learned how to huck kibbles and bits onto the linoleum. This is disgusting. I'll switch to something else. I sleep with a different woman every night. Actually, it's the same woman with a multiple personality disorder. I like to play basketball. You know, I could bounce a basketball all day long. But, you know, one time I did that and I got fired from my job at the funeral home. Like, dearly beloved, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. We are gathered here, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. So, they voted me scapegoat of the year, and now they're persecuting me because I refuse to accept the award. This is the introspective, mellow, ambient Wrong Hero. People say I've got my grandfather's smile. That's because I'm wearing his dentures. I like to go to a restaurant, but sometimes it annoys me when they say, "Hi, my name's Geraldo, and I'll be your waiter tonight. Hi, my name is Feed Me and Live." Hop to it. You know, it's like, and you know, I gotta admit, I'm not a genius. I'm just hard to get along with. That's all. It's like, can you imagine if the stupidest genius at Harvard roomed with the smartest idiot at Harvard? Get some real dynamic. That could be a sitcom right there. Get some real dynamics going. I burned your thesis. I got a separate copy on a disc. I burned that too. Well, I hired an old bum to take your spare room, piss all over everything. hold a job, but they know, I mean, what do they put on the job application? It's like, hobbies? Proving that Oswald was a patsy. So, I went to Toscanini's. See that place right down the street on Main Street? It was an ice cream store. And I hate to admit it, but I was stoned. One iris was the size of a pinprick. The other was the size of a dinner plate. And I walked in there and I said, I'd like a ice cream cone, please. I'd like 1 scoop double chocolate, 1 scoop grapefruit sorbet, and 1 scoop almond bark cappuccino, eucalyptus leaf, koala bear, Mexico City car exhaust fume, paint thinner rag, chewing tobacco, malted mastodon crunch. And don't put it in a cone. Give it to me in a monkey's paw. And the woman behind the counter said, is that for here or to go? They're just so obliging. Because, you know, Susan Molinari, she was at the Republican convention and stuff, and there was a big to-do about how Susan Molinari says, oh, yeah, I experimented with marijuana. Yeah, well, you know, I have to confess I experimented with it too for 20 years. I just wanted to make sure I got the experiment precisely right. You know, I had all the controls in place, and you know, there I was with my flagons and Bunsen burners and beakers and with my hunchbacked assistant, going, those scoundrels at the university, they laughed at my theories. So, there was that. You know, when I was a kid, in 8th grade, there was this, we had 20 minutes to eat our lunch, and the lunchroom was divided into factions. Half of them were greasers, and half of them were soul brothers, and it was 1970. And half of them wanted to hear, they got to play 1 song during their lunch break. Half of them wanted to hear Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinton, and the other half wanted to hear War by Edwin Starr. And it was so schizophrenic because it would go like, 1, 2, she wore, what is it good for Blue Velvet? Absolutely nothing. So it again, whoa, whoa. It was really something. Oh, so you know what? This whole political correctness thing. People complain. You know, people complain. Conservatives complain because those politically correct liberals are ruining our education system, and the politically correct liberals are saying, oh, those conservatives are with their greed and money lust, are destroying the infrastructure of this country. PC is basically the dispute between control versus ownership, right? You know, politically correct people want to control the agenda, and the conservatives want to simply own everything. So it's just an irreconcilable, it's an immovable object and an irresistible force. And you know what I think? I think that a socialist is just a hobo with a PhD. Of course, that's not to say that hobos aren't very admirable people.
What do you think multiculturalism is? Because there seems to be a confusion about that term.
It means that by the year
People are
20...
really afraid of it.
I don't know why they should be, because they'll all be dead by the time it really becomes a fact.
But what is it? I mean, what is it that some people are really afraid of?
They're afraid of Wendell Willkie, who, with his far-seeing visionary ideas of 1940, spoke of one world. And we've always been a melting pot. Now I'm going to do my cornball speech about how much I love America. Smog, corn on the cob, the Mississippi River, and all that other stuff. From OJ to the Menendez brothers, crime is an equal opportunity employer. White collar, blue collar, pink collar, call it what you will, collar. It's a great land, there. You know, I got something in my eye, my eyeball, and I can't go on. Multiculturalism, well, by the year 2040, white people will be a minority in the United States.
Is that what it's all about?
That's what it will be all about in the year 2040.
Yeah, but by that time, a very large portion of the non-white people will have been absorbed into basically the white culture. It won't matter what color their skin is.
Not the white culture, you fool, the white power structure!
But the thing is,
By the time that comes around, all the old dinosaur fogies who waste energy will be dead. Dead, I say.
What do you think cadres of bands will start forming that will start destroying automobiles?
Gee, that's already happening. I saw this band called the Men with No IQ as they backed their van into a van belonging to a band called Mind Grinder.
Yes.
You know, you only see a thing like that once in a lifetime. The Men with No IQ smash Mind Grinder. They grind the front panel of the van, the rear panel of their van. Yeah, I'm thinking that bands will be formed around competing factions of athletic wear and fast food hamburger chains. You're like, where are the McDonald's? There is a band called the McDonald's, and they do a song called Miniature Golf, and it's 57 seconds long, and it goes, miniature golf, miniature golf, miniature golf.
There's a band on TV called the McDLTs.
Oh my God.
On Rosie O'Donnell.
No less. Did you see her yesterday? She had everybody in the audience dressed just like her. Now another vision of hell with the monkey chasing the weasel around the mulberry bush. A room full of Ernest Borgnine and Rosie O'Donnell.
Right.
You know? It's like,
again.
oh, talk about your clash.
Mainstream.
She just goes off.
All she talks about is
All
fucking
this
television
talk makes you wanna
shows
get
some
from
food.
1968.
Yeah.
I get enough of that on Nickelodeon, for Christ's sake. You know, I can do
I
that.
know, you're right.
And you know what? 50 years from now, they'll be going, well, and now the creator of Ren and Stimpy, you know,
But all these, you know, big name actors.
The
and
complete
actresses
works of
coming
Matt
onto
Groening.
their
Do you
show.
think imbecility is a form
you
of
know,
retarded genius?
Oh, it's weird.
savant.
It's strange.
Can you imagine if that's the only thing you knew about were TV sitcoms? It would be,
Alewife. No.
maybe I was born too late. I still remember back
Born
from
too late.
born too, like, too old to be a hippie, too young to be a punk, and now I'm mostly drunk. I got that backwards. Too young to be a hippie, too old to be a punk, so now I'm mostly drunk. Oh, hey! So,
I want to buy that. And she said she gave it me.
No.
backwash.
Basically, you've inspired me.
I have?
Yes, I feel a lot more up about
Yeah.
who I am and what I'm going to do.
Then I'll do my showstopper.
Well, I never know what the hell I'm gonna do, but I've enjoyed it.
It's called Big Eyed Beans from Venus. But, Sue's fix you, clothes like you, like supposed to baby on. Wizard kiss and I'll be gone. Sue Egypt, Sue Egypt. Big Eyed Beans from Venus, don't let anything get in between us. A man on a porcupine fence, making invalids out of Superman. Yeah, that's really avant-garde to spout disconnected Captain Beefheart
So when they were making
into
submarine parts,
a karaoke
handles
mic.
and stuff that wouldn't melt.
Now this is an echo mic and it's
They were
wireless. The
making
cutting edge
everything
of
in this. They were making
crypto
subs-
technology.
No.
But this one's a humble karaoke
So
mic.
it's like, well, maybe
Now what's this habit of calling, spelling Mike M-I-C?
$2 and I brought
Looks
it
like
down to
Mick.
$1.
Is this a slur?
I told her I
You
only
know?
had about 25.
Karaoke Mick, I had to fucking punch her head in.
Short for microphone.
Karaoke Mick.
It makes sense.
Again, oh daddy boy.
Orange and green, I wonder if there is some Irish
What is it?
Yeah,
commentary there.
yeah. See, we got a little
I could
faux
sell that
switch.
for $30.
They look like toys.
Somebody
They are
else tried
toys.
to sell it.
See, they were purchased at the
It's a
fair
weird color. It's
for
a very
$1.
unusual color.
Right.
What is it made
Quite
of?
expensive.
It's a couple of different kinds of big
Someday I'll be starving, broke, alone. I wish I had that $1. Oh my God, it's a karaoke Mick.
Thermosetting.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to sing when they were making
That's true.
when they were making
Investment
different
instead of an
plastics
impulse.
for like handles.
Right.
So they made a suit
Again,
of armor
that's true.
together
You know,
to survive
if it were in its original package,
firestorm.
it would be worth a fortune.
They had to do something
So,
with it.
what is a writer's group?
A what?
Actually, this is probably a
No,
writer's
this is
group,
something
if
I
I
found.
mistake me
This is
not.
1940.
Yeah, this is a lot like writers
Yeah,
groups that
I
I've
found
had
it in
the
a antique
semi-misfortune to be involved with.
And if I could sell it.
You know what writers groups are? It's a bunch of hand-wringing, lazy, good-for-nothing, shiftless, loafing bums.
I'll write chapter 5.
One.
They're so busy talking about the great stuff they're going to write, they never have the time to actually write it. What good is it? You know, like, you stole my idea. It was about a big whale. You know, it's like, didn't Herman Melville do that? Oh, well, you know, everything's relative, and we're all tapped into a central state of consciousness. No one really owns ideas. Ideas are just a form of social control. And another thing, critics. Now, we had someone in here earlier who was a critic. You know what critics do? The function of the critic. A critic. Yeah, the thing is now, I speak from experience because I too am a critic. The critics long for everything to be. Critics long for everything to suck, so they can be witty at its expense. And here's the modus operandi of critics: a pat on the back for your cronies, a kick in the ass for authority figures. You give the finger to those with whom you have the confidence to disagree, and they're usually has-beens and never-wasers, with no podium from which to fling filth at their betters, such as the critic is endowed with. And you know, people who live in the country, they complain about how, well, there's never anything to do around here. It's like, well, they're so culturally inbred, they cannot respond to innovative entertainment, and so they never attract any innovative entertainment. Then they complain about, nothing to do around here, guess I'll go down to the barber shop. Maybe I'll go to the gas station and watch the guy step on the hose and make it ring. I don't know. And these are just things that I'm just totally outraged about. Like how your parents hide the unpleasant truth.
A KKKer.
What?
KKKer? Oh, yeah, I'm in my hate mode now. Or, no, I know what I'll do.
Like
Oh, it's a tirade. It's a KKK rally for the multiculturalists.
Right. We're not gonna let it go multi.
I didn't mean it as I meant it. I
meant it as a criticism, for Christ's sake.
You can tell I'm level-headed because the chewing tobacco dribbles out of both sides of my mouth.
You know, if he had like a red top or something to match his red star, he'd look like a radical. A radical KKK.
We'll keep the red flag flying. Stalin wasn't Stalin. Now, what if drunks knew the repertoire of Robert Wyatt?
The Grand Drag Queen.
Stalin wasn't Stalin when he told the Nazi vermin that he would never risk condemned until he had driven him from the land. You really get into it, you know.
Yeah, quit your Stalin.
It's really too bad that we don't have World War II, because you know now we don't have Nazis and communists to hate. We got to think of like pallid, inferior substitutes, like I don't know, racists and criminals. You know, it's just not the same.
Which is the backbone of this country, I might remind you.
Oh, you racist to nothing. You should have seen them Nazis. You know, you criminals suck, man. The communists, that's where it was at, man. Well, you know, it all stems from childhood. Your parents hide unpleasant truths from you. That's basically their function, to nurture you, or so they think, by like concealing. They let you watch incessant Disney films, which, you know, themselves have a corrupting and warping effect. What's The Lion King, anyway? You know? The benevolent, all-seeing, wise master is deposed by an evil, scheming lion. The natural order of things is awry, and it turns into a gigantic ghetto, basically. And then the Lion King! You know, it's just like monarchy. What are they telling our kids here? It's good to have an all-seeing, all-knowing, wise father whose beneficent control of our institutions enables us to truly live in freedom. After all, you can't spell the word freedom without the word free and the word dumb. So keep that in mind. Like, and your parents, they say, Grandpa's in heaven, not the old fool's finally dead. One more chair at the table. Right?
Grandpa's in heaven. Brings you back to Bill Keane.
Yes, again, your goldfish is sleeping. That carp was half dead when we brought her home. A piece of shit hanging out of its ass and 3 feet long. Like, sure, you can go to college. Sports are good. Why should the government have a monopoly on legitimate violence?
Flush the guppies down the toilet. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
An elementary school is basically a hospital where they amputate your imagination. Ivan Illich laid
See, that's when
all
they told me I
down.
was first clinically depressed.
Really? Well, you told them that?
That's what they told me. That's what they tell me.
I called up, you know.
5th grade.
I called up the depression line, and I said, I think I might be depressed. Well, have you considered suicide? Well, if I have to listen to your droning voice for one more minute, I think I might. No. Well, sometimes when I'm driving in my car, the other cars on the road sound like animals. Like, my car sounds like a cute little squirrel. It goes, and that Big Mac truck sounds like a cow, and it goes, and just as I go cascading off the side of the cliff, I reach out for the little Mack truck dog and try to pat it on the head and say, doggy. Well, I don't think you're depressed enough to be a part of our study. I can refer you to several good healthcare providers.
Jungian psychologists.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, they're
Archetypes,
just a bunch of collectivists.
symbolists, myths, legends.
And study your dreams.
Situationist nursery rhymes.
Study your drugs. Study your hospitalization. Study
That's
your
what we ought to be
suicide
teaching our
attempts.
kids.
You don't know how long it's
You know
been
about the
going on with
situationists
me.
in
I'm talking
Paris
about
in
American
1968?
Yeah, right.
You know, the whole Jacques Ellul
I want
thing
real
with,
bridge to the
you
20
know,
The only thing I didn't
the
have
storyline
was
is simply another means to exert a hegemonic regime, and there are no original stories and so forth and on. We should be teaching our kids situationist nursery rhymes like, Old King Cole was ruthless in his exploitation of his salaried robots, and he called for his stupefying palliatives, which enabled him to further extend his hegemonic regime. But no, we don't teach our kids that. We teach them stories about Jesus. And my cousin Bob, he's the funniest guy. He used to go into the religious bookstore and say, "This is a house of worship, and you have made it into a den of thieves!" And he push some books off and run out.
Oh my God.
He's the greatest guy. No, really. He was. One time I was reading Paradise Lost, and I was on Martha's Vineyard, and I was in a duck blind, and a mother and her child came up to me, and he said, "Hello," and I said, "Hi," and he said, "Say hello to the man, Patrick," and he said, "Hello," and the mother said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Moloch," and the mother said, "Say hello," and the little kid said, "Hello, Moloch." Another moment that I will not have for another 50 years. The problem is that we don't really have any sources of wisdom anymore that can be reliably. We don't know. Every one of us has different sources for whatever wisdom we may have accumulated over the years, and let's say the Bible, let's say Shakespeare, the writings of Francis Bacon, John Locke, Edmund Burke, Thucydides,
We got that one right
Heraclitus.
on the head there.
Oh yeah, John Locke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the war of all against all. Yeah, see it now, battling robots, monster trucks, battling robots, oven cleaner, and well, my source of wisdom, of course, is popular music.
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine.
Telephones.
He was an atheist. He said, "How pathetic that we should deify a crucified man and a bird." He was referring to the Holy Ghost. Scoundrel. And he was right, but he's about 500 years ahead of his time. So, pop songs as a source of wisdom. If you really got into that too heavily, you would ruin your life if you thought, say, that the song "La la 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 la, live for today and don't worry about tomorrow." That's a good way to stay in the lower class.
I mean,
Said the grasshopper to the ant. Yes.
What happened to throwing muses?
Well, they're still around.
They are?
But they split off into two separate branches.
Solo projects.
So Kristen Hirsch is in one, and Tanya Donnelly's in another, and who knows what the drummer's doing, as is always the case.
Right.
Like the drummer gets a bad rap. The lead guitarist and the bass player can split off from the band, and the fans will follow them. Perhaps, all the, like Husker Du say, but nobody cares about the fucking drummer's solo project. Like, who was that guy in Yes? He had a solo project. Nobody bought that. The guy in Kiss, his solo record.
Bill Smith.
Yeah, like, whoa, and now, okay, that's the exception that proves the rule. The only man who can vomit while playing the drums. You gotta admire him
Blind
for that.
Faith and Cream, what else?
Yeah, so, but the drummer just doesn't
gotta
have
be
enough
real
cool.
cool to
Because,
follow.
you know, what does the drummer do? That's what the drummer does. He keeps the beat.
But they're still,
Thanks for sticking it out.
well, working through the Throwing Muses sets, huh?
Oh God, throwing muses, huh? I had a fish up on the wall in my apartment wall. It's like
It doesn't exist anymore. Nobody plays it.
No, of course not. Like America can't say no. All I remember really is there enough to grow in my snail head? I don't know. And you could run through the gamut. But they never had a big hit, so you're not even on the radar screen. You're alternative rock.
Right. Now somebody else brought up a band, and I'm sorry to tax your fucking excellent memory, but what about Salem 66?
They're not around anymore. They're not really doing much of anything these days. Classic slackers. They took a great many of their lyric philosophies from the writings of Sylvia Plath and Anne Sexton. And they're good songwriters. And they're just not doing much. Oh, well, what prompts this sudden nostalgic interest in bands that were all co-op in 1986?
I had inquiries, sir.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
From whom?
A lawyer friend in the city of Bethesda.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Talia Zedek, formerly of Uzi and Cum, is doing very well with her. Actually, she's in Cum now. She was in Live Skull before. She's doing pretty well with Cum, which I guess was the name that they picked in lack of another name, or in lieu of anything else.
C-U-M or M-M?
C-O-M-E. Come on, how crude. Bands with three-letter names. Can you think of any? Yes, they all suck. E-L-P, E-L-O, all bands with three-letter names suck. I'm sorry this blinding insight is like too startling.
Rhythm section.
Oh, let's say, yeah, there you go. The average white band.
Right.
So, I mean, I know we got well, now, Steve, since you're here in attendance, I prepared a special little bit just for you.
Well, I mean, it's just that the hero.
It's a letter I
has
wrote.
This compendium of knowledge.
It's a letter that I wrote that
I knew that you had tapped into this, and you could
spew it at will.
Yeah.
And at John.
But I can't write it down. I can't record it. But luckily, we've got it all on videotape.
Yes, and pointy-headed aliens in the year 200,096, isn't that convenient, will say, tragedy, this is the only remnant of his great genius which survived.
Well, when they scan their database for Salem 66, they'll find you. And
that's right. There was this kid named Grover Norquist, who we all thought was going to become president, and we all thought that the only thing that would remain of the entire planet Earth after it gets crisped by the sun is the fact that the president at the time was Grover Norquist, and we knew him, and so they knew about us, and oh yes, those late night bull sessions. Here's a letter I wrote to all of the shitty roommates I've ever had, and it goes like this. Dear roommate, you left mushroom soup on the stove burners, and now I hate you. What's more, you set my bed on fire while in a drunken stupor and try to put it out with your own vomit. Furthermore, you sacrificed a goat to Lucifer in my basement, left a dead body in the trunk of my car, tried to breastfeed a baby in the restaurant I work in, which would have been all right except you are a man. How did you get the combination of my safe? Also, I can understand that your dog ate my hamster, but who strangled my parrot and left a dead fish next to its perch? Sincerely, the wrong hero. Well, anyway, okay, so I'm going to do a song. I'm winding down now. Oh, but you know what?
You know you're dead?
Sure.
No, it's the one about the dog. Your dog is a ukulele. You just fucking sing it every time.
I do
what
not.
About the thing with Campbell's fucking Jesus soup?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Soup.
Wow.
Like it? Brought to you by. And I wasn't going to do any of that brought to you by stuff. I was going to do my political speech. The preacher, as our poet laureates, the Temptations, have said, the only person talking about love my brother is the preacher, and I'm going to kill him too. You know, the Republicans talk about what government ought not to do. The Democrats talk about what government can do, and I like to talk about Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
What would you do?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, now listen, I know what you should do. I know what you should do.
You have 4 years to think about this.
I know what you should do.
I'm going to
I'm a
outlaw...
Democrat, and I know what you should do.
Fuck you, you both are
Wait,
clear.
whoa. I'm going to outlaw panhandling in front of automated teller machines unless I lose the election, in which case I'll go back to my old job as
The Republicans are
panhandler
like,
in
well,
front of
we're gonna
automated
what you
telling machines. Well, you know, people say I'll do my Clinton now. Well, you know, people say I'm fat, but I'm not. I'm just pathologically hefty.
Want to hear it?
I
Mind holding off for a moment while I grab myself a beer?
Get yourself a beer and try
get
to
us
fetch,
around.
try to fetch everybody else in here in the process.
I'll go get some Sprite. Would you like a beer?
No, I don't drink anymore either.
I don't drink
well,
anymore either.
Francis, you're going to be without an audience because I'll be the only one here.
No, I'll be right back.
All right. Well, then I'll just like shoot the breeze.
Mr.
I'll
Microphone.
schmooze.
Can I hit it?
Here, lasers.
He's the latest and the greatest. Yeah, my voice is starting to go. I've been at it for like over 90 minutes. It's like 95 minutes and counting. And that's good. Because I got just a little more.
Keep it up for another, say, 15, you'll be up to close to 2 hours.
That's exactly what I want.
Give me 5.
Oh, no, yo, brother, yo. Ooze it across. Ow, baby. I feel it. Do you feel it? I feel it. Do you feel it? I feel it. All right, then just for you, Steve, I'll do my Jesus. We had this preacher up in Western Pennsylvania. You've already seen it.
I don't accept credit cards.
Done that.
Hey, it's great. I gotta go to work, otherwise I'd hang out and
Later, mate.
yep,
Good deal, mate.
Coolness.
Steve and
Francis,
Mr.
wrong
Hero.
hero.
Mr. Wrong
Mr.
Hero.
Hero.
You're right.
Come on Monday if you like.
Monday?
It's at Stone Soup, 9 o'clock.
Let me know when you have one of these. These are goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these on-team little gatherings. On-team gathering volumes. Well, what do you do? Wind down the tape here. Strike up the band, brother. Hand me another pull of your soul. Yeah, I could do Al Jolson all night. Oh, and Sonny Boy. That was a #1 hit. It was about, I used to cut his little head, but now he's dead. He's my Sonny Boy. Wow. Whoa. That about wiped me out.
Well, you know that song, they don't write them like that anymore.
Yeah. Just go that old time rock and roll.
No. They don't write them like that anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna run and get a Coke. Coca-Cola.
Bob Dole might not be president. At least Bob Dole did make it.
Did you turn this off? Or is he coming back?
It's a subculture that you exist in that causes him not to want to be your fucking president, you stupid asshole.
Yeah, I did. 20 minutes. All right. Get everybody back in here for the grand finale. You know, this set would have been 40 minutes long, but there were so many interruptions. But I don't know if this grand finale is quite grand enough. It could be. Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Put her there. Can't stop a stepper, that's what I always say. Whatever the hell that means. Yeah, that's something I got out of the book Pimp, The Story of My Life by Iceberg Slim. You ever read that?
No, I really. No,
You read another book by Iceberg Slim?
I read a review.
You read a review?
Yeah.
You read a review of Pimp, The Story of My Life in In what journal? The New York
It was
Times.
in it was in Playboy, I believe.
Oh, really?
What?
The works of Robert C. Beck, one of the greatest dialect writers of our century. The man is just so inventive. You know, I mean, the subject matter he discusses is so incredibly sordid, and they're really terrible books. They'll warp your mind, but you know, he just has all this like sort of this dialect. It's like a whole other language. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sorry, it's not mine. So otherwise I'd say, oh, go ahead, wreck the damn thing.
What record?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
What's it gonna do?
I don't know what it's gonna do, but don't do it anyway. Cause
Wipe all the coke off of it.
No, it might be bad. It'd be
All the coke.
well, like he calls children crumb crushers, and it's like reading Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange, but from the point of view of a pimp. I mean, it's just amazing, frightening, uncanny. So,
Inspiring.
to a certain degree, the inventiveness of the language is inspiring, but virtually nothing else about it.
Could you stand a little to the left?
Sure. No, that's actually the right. There. This is more like it. So, anyway, it has been said that my morning breath could topple an anvil, scorch an X-Acto blade, and melt a Geiger counter, but strictly speaking, that's true. To prove that I'm one of you, I'd like to eat a 12-pack of hot dog buns soaked in log cabin syrup. That's a trick that my dog taught me, actually. Some people say that, you know, I steal from the bodies and homes of dead people, but I have to assure you that that dog's dish with the name of a recently deceased person's dog written on the side of it came into my home by accident, and I had nothing to do with putting it there. And some people say I have a Nazi graveyard in my cellar, but many of those brave soldiers were only following orders. And, you know, I think that perhaps I'll float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and then die. And then be resurrected by a mad scientist as Frankenbee. He could be the pal of O.J. Crackerbee, I guess. You know what Joe Kennedy said? Representative Joe Kennedy of Massachusetts. He actually said, "Oh, say can you see by the Star-Spangled Banner."
He's an insult comedian.
Oh yeah, Don Rickles. He was my first hero, you know.
He's an insult comedian.
I saw him on the Newer Griffin show.
This one?
This one? What am I, a mere commodified
Oh
object? Okay, well, I guess
My favorite comedians are the ones that can insult really
All right,
well.
Grand Climax.
They're the ones that can insult well.
Hey!
Oh, are you saying?
Oh, it's something to regain control here. It's all about control. It's all about, look at my shouting head. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else. It's, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's not about anything else. And you know, people say, what is the wrong hero for? They say, what is he? An insult comedian? Or is he a performance artist? Does he actually think he's funny? I'll tell you what the wrong hero is for. The wrong hero is for this purpose. He's put on Earth to make other heroes doubt themselves. For example, when I go around Batman, he becomes existential Batman. And you know, Robin comes up to him and says, Batman, anything man is terrorizing Gotham City. And Batman says, I don't like to think about such things. It depresses me. I hate my cave. I hate the crooks. I hate being a millionaire playboy. Life bores me. As a matter of fact, Robin, you are beginning to bore me. The stupid police, the repulsive criminals, the utility belt. You can have it all. You know, it's like what I call
Utility belt. That's got to be a new part of the United States.
the utility belt. I call it Kate Smith syndrome. That's what I do to people. I give them Kate Smith syndrome, which goes something like this. She brought joy to others,
Branson, Missouri.
but there was no joy for her. She spent her life bringing joy to others, but for her, there was no joy. So, you know, when I'm around Superman, he goes, what am I doing this for? Am I showing off or what? What's the S stand for? Am I a Nazi? Is it supposed to be an SS here? How can I fly? Why can't I be normal? Maybe I should call myself Man and pretend that I'm just normal. And when the wrong hero is around the Hulk says, Hulk, nurture. Hulk, not smash. Hulk, learn how to use pronouns. Hulk, become philosopher king. Hulk, study the works of Spinoza and others. And the Flash, you know, he begins to doubt himself. It's like, if I ran at the speed of light, wouldn't my legs fall out of their sockets? And the Submariner. How do I pronounce my own name? Is it Submariner? Or Submariner? Do these tiny wings on my ankles, can they really sustain flight? How is this physically possible? Captain America. I got this invulnerable shield. Why don't the crooks get smart, melt the shield down and make bullets out of the material that the shield is made of, and then shoot me, and then it will go right through the shield and kill me? Wonder Woman. If I'm an Amazon, why do I still have 2 breasts? And if I'm a feminist, then why do I wear these skimpy outfits? The Silver Surfer. Basically, I'm just a bald guy with a skateboard. I could be a boomer with a midlife crisis instead of a superhero. The Human Torch. I'm just a glorified cigarette lighter. Everybody calls me Arson Boy behind my back. I bring light to others, but there is no light in my existence. Say, is it hot in here, or is it just me? And the Invisible Girl. Well, what's my power? I can vanish when things get too hot for comfort. Any deadbeat dad can say the same thing. You know, the Thing. The Thing. I'm built like a brick shithouse, literally. You know, and people spray paint graffiti on my back when I'm not looking. Mr. Fantastic. What kind of power is that? It's the same power that Plastic Man and Elastic Lad had, except I have no sense of humor. Spider-Man. It's like, one of these days I'm going to tell that J. Jonah Jameson just where to go. That fucking Hitler. He's a little Hitler. Mustachioed son of a bitch. And this all leads into the grander scheme.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
What about real heroes? What do they say when they see them? How do you meet them down and stuff? Like, Mother Teresa or somebody.
She ain't a hero.
Well,
Hey, whoa, let's not get into this Christopher Hitchens jazz here. Of course she's a hero. Like,
Name a hero. What
Name
does
a
that
hero?
say? I don't care.
Well,
Move on.
it can't be Shorspot, but it has to be somebody like Jesus.
He's dead.
is he?
Let's say Jesus.
Jesus. Oh, yeah.
No.
What was
Jesus ain't a hero. He's a
Yeah.
religious figure. All right. Let's say
Existential Jesus?
let's say
Francis can pick it.
You know, I think they did that with
wait,
Jesus Christ Superstar.
contemporary heroes.
Yeah,
Good
contemporary
question.
hero.
Tried for 3 years, seems like 30. Yeah, oh, Sammy Davis Jr. Oh, tried for 3 years.
Where
seems
are
like
the heroes?
30, but I tried.
Sammy Davis Jr. is not a hero, I'm sorry.
He's dead. Leave him alone.
All right. Heroes.
Pathetic.
The guy that got shot down in Bosnia and ate grubs.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Scott.
why did he just lie under that cow that he was so friendly with for 3 days to get the milk, you know? That's what I was wondering.
What? He slept with a cow.
Well, he slept near a cow.
Near
You
a
could
cow.
hear its gentle lowing.
Near a cow. That's
There
a
you go.
city in Poland.
Oh, if we couldn't catch ID, then what chance did the Bosnians have of catching him? You know, it's not easy to catch somebody that doesn't want to get caught. He didn't have any self-destructive impulses. He earnestly wanted to get away. And he himself said, I'm no hero. I just did what any American soldier forced to eat grubs and ants would do in
Precisely.
similar circumstances.
That's what all of the Nobel heroes say.
Yes, that's just it. They say, I'm no hero. You are the true hero.
I just do my job.
Oh, yeah, and they get into this bullshit rap like, it's you folks who raise healthy kids to be good citizens who are the real heroes. As a matter of fact, it's like, I envy you little people. You unheroic souls who have the souls of the greatest heroes of all inside all of you. In that case, the whole notion of hero has been so thoroughly and irremediably debased that there is no such thing as a hero. If even the heroes sort of take this cup from me, I don't want to be your hero. Nobody wants to be your damn hero. That's the problem. That's why you have to make up fictional naked men in skimpy tights to act as our surrogate heroes and gods. And you know, baseball stars are basically just the gods of Mount Olympus transported to a baseball diamond.
Oh, they make me sick.
I know, it's a high fly.
The baseball and football and basketball, they're all overpaid geeks on drugs that rape women.
Just like the
Give me a
Greek
break.
gods. Just like the Greek
They're
gods.
not gods.
But the gods weren't
I
gods
think they're
either.
scum.
The Greek gods weren't gods either. Leda and the Swan, I mean, they weren't.
Yes, they were. They were worshipped.
So are baseball stars.
Well, they're not by me.
You wouldn't have worshipped the Greek gods either, you know?
How do you know?
Oh, I'm not saying I know that for a fact.
I might have.
Oh, okay, I don't worship the baseball stars. I don't
They
worship
weren't
the Greek
they
gods
weren't
either.
paid for anything.
Oh, yes, they were. They had all sorts of perks, the Greek gods.
Sacrifices. I don't know.
Here comes Hercules. He's swinging 7 bats. It's a high fly out the center field. Here goes Mercury. He's flying to catch it. Look at him go. Mercury's glove, where triples go to die. Yeah. You know, just transpose it. Especially.
I
All right.
really don't think it's the same thing. But I guess maybe in a way it can be.
I will share with you, because of your patience, my $1 million idea. Everybody has $1 million idea.
I don't.
So, well, it'll come to you in a dream someday.
Yeah, right.
Can I be any more condescending? It will come to
I'm
you.
leaving.
It's called the Legion of Super Presidents. Now, there's got to be something to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, because that movie Independence Day, where the president straps himself into the fighter jet and goes off to shoot the aliens, you know? It's like, yeah, like they let the president do that. Like 500 Secret Servicemen wouldn't be flying along in little jets and go, oh, look out, Mr. President! Well, there goes 50 of them. Oh well, you know, I'm the president. I can do whatever I want. You know, what great power that is. No one's more powerful than the president. The president
That
is
was
10
a
feet tall.
movie.
I know, but the president is 10 feet tall and weighs 1,000 pounds, and they're the closest things we have to the heroes of yore, the great biblical figures, Samson and Moses. And I'm Bill Clinton. I'm going to lead you to the Medicare,
Clinton
but I
is
won't
very
be
boring.
He is actually.
And potentially quite dangerous.
Apologize.
Apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you really bored him at the 88 convention with his 2-hour speech. Do you remember that? He humiliated
Yeah,
himself.
what's his name? The one who retired. Did you see him on TV? The old guy. He's famous. And the last few minutes on air, that's what he said. What's his name? He used to be a team. Brinkley. Brinkley. I couldn't believe it. It was almost sad. He looked like an old man who was just trying to be funny, you know. I know. But he was like, Brinkley, I mean, you know, the president's the most boring man. And he kept going. How boring. How boring.
He's the Energizer president.
Hey, Michael, I left your hat. I left your hat, like, right on that little red chair in the kitchen, okay? The army beret.
Oh, you don't want that?
You were gonna give it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can have it if she doesn't want it.
Cool. I need it.
Hey,
Go ahead.
it's your lucky day.
I know it.
It's
It's her lucky
Can we
day.
smoke in here?
Yeah, sure. Just be sure to put yourself out when you're done.
Make sure the ashtrays are full.
You know, I haven't really worked this out, the Legion of Super Presidents, but I know that there's a good idea in there somewhere.
Where's the money in it, though? You said $1 million.
Yeah, well, it could be a
Write a
movie,
book.
it could be a
book.
kiddie cartoon, you know, like, I'm George Washington, with my wooden teeth, I'll deflect bullets, ching, ching. You know, I'm Thomas Jefferson, with my incredibly superior intellect, I'll figure out a way to rationalize democracy and slavery, you know, and you just go on and on. I'm Taft, I'm sort of like bouncing boy, I bounce everywhere because I weigh 300 pounds, boom, boom, boom. You know, on FDR, I am like Dr. Xavier of the X-Men, a brilliant cripple in a wheelchair who directs everybody, you know, in great universal endeavor. You get the picture.
John Quincy Adams.
I'm JFK who
John
fucked
Quincy.
everybody,
No,
including
no,
Marilyn
the thing
Monroe.
is,
He became a representative in Congress after the presidency.
I know. I'm the hard-working drudge, John Quincy Adams. I'm the guy behind the scenes that nobody remembers.
No.
but I do all the hard
This
work.
is something that Bill
I
Clinton might
liked him,
do.
but
He spoke eloquently against slavery in his dying days. With his dying death,
Oh, Bill Clinton.
he defended freedom. Well, no, you know, this thing to work, It would have to be only the most well-known
we live in a very
presidents, like
strange-
Teddy Roosevelt.
Alright, you're on your own agenda, hero. Go ahead, fuck you.
Oh, no, no, fuck me.
I insist.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so negative, except I really do. I'm writing a book. It's called Overcoming Codependency with the One Person Who Matters Most.
Is that,
That's
what
a
does
joke.
that mean?
That's a joke,
Oh,
son.
it's a joke, okay.
You know, there never seems to be enough poverty and deprivation to go around.
Overcoming
There's plenty of
dependency with a co-person that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I played Beethoven's Ode to Joy backwards, and I went back in time, and Beethoven turned into a chimpanzee, and he went. Yeah, I kind of knew that wouldn't work. So this is all this is all the B material here. Now, have you heard about that parrot, Alex, the African gray parrot, who, when his keeper took him to a veterinarian, said, as his keeper was walking out the door, "Come here. I'm sorry. I love you. Don't leave me." Perfect words for any relationship, really. Those are the only 4 phrases that you really need to know in a given relationship. Come here. I'm sorry.
Don't leave.
I love you. Don't leave me.
Being in love means never having to say sorry.
Being in love means never having
What
to
happened
say
to
Yeah.
beer,
Source.
kiss, and please?
Beer?
Beer, Mark Twain.
Was that one of the 4
3
food
words.
groups?
Beer, kiss, no.
Oh,
Beer,
right, you're right.
Kiss, please, thank you, whatever.
When an educated German begins a
Please.
sentence, he speaks into the Atlantic Ocean and the verb comes out at the other end. What happens if you play A Christmas Carol backwards?
Which one?
Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. If you were to recite that classic story backwards, what would happen would be that a liberal would turn into a conservative. Well, thank you for coming to my Neander Talent Show. Now's about the time we got to start thinking about celebrating anti-Christmas, where evil men dressed in black break into your cellar and put coal in your stockings and steal all your toys and take them down to their sinister fortress in hell and dance naked around them as they burn them, laughing. Anti-Christmas, where Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, and Moses all get together and jeer at Santa Claus. And I should mention that being the Christmas season, that
Had to be cakes.
The Wrong Hero has been brought to you by